Hi, I'm Paul. I'm with Evergreen Nursery in San Leandro. Today we're going to be talking about fall gardening. Vegetable gardening is something that is very popular now, and because of that we're going to do a vegetable gardening demo here and talk a little bit about planting this container and this other container off to my side here. So I've already pre-filled my container here with the potting soil, and today what we're going to do is going to show you how much material you can get out of this small little container over the course of the season. So we're going to be growing some lettuce in here. It is something that you have to be realistic in when growing vegetables. Like trying to grow 6 broccoli in a container like this is unrealistic, but you can really get a lot of lettuce and maybe some chives and some onions, green onions to use, and you can be replanting this over the course of the fall and the winter, replanting each time. When starting to plant plants, you basically want to take the plant out of the container, and one of the mistakes people make is that they don't spread the roots apart a little bit. That doesn't mean tear into the root ball, but it just means gingerly pull the roots apart a little bit. And when you set it down in the soil, you just make a small little hole. You want to make sure that when you set it down in the hole, you do not bury the plant, okay? The soil level here should be slightly above the soil level in the pot. This plant will probably settle into the soil. But the worst thing could happen is if you bury it up to here, and this would create a problem. The plant could die because it's not used to being buried. So very simple to do. Take the plant, rough up the roots, put it in the soil. These are a couple different types of leaf lettuce, and leaf lettuce are very easy to grow. They can be cut or they can be harvested all as one. In this demonstration, I'm going to tell you that I would really plant this really heavily with lettuce so that you can go through and actually harvest plants, whole plants, and then allowing other plants to continue to grow. In other words, by putting a plant 6 inches apart when it actually should be maybe 12 inches apart is okay, because as we see here in me planting these rather quickly, if I planted every other one, it looks pretty, but when I want to pick a red leaf lettuce after it gets really crowded, I'm going to lift the whole plant out, allowing the next one to continue to grow. In this case, we can put a row of lettuce in the front and maybe take like something like green onions like this, and again, rough up the roots, just carefully rough them up, set them down in there. Remember, you can always press it down in there a little bit. It's best to have things up a little high. I've also picked out some cilantro. A lot of people use cilantro. So I'm planting some onions, then I'm going to plant some cilantro, then I'm going to plant some more onions, and again, some more cilantro. Now, as you use plants, you should think that you always want to be replenishing it. And so you can replant lettuce, and you can crowd things together to make it so that you can be harvesting lettuce out of this little planter all winter long. And you can be picking whole onions out, or you can actually just go and snip the tops of the onions and use them as you see fit. Okay, again, when applying fertilizer, which is very important, you can just take your hand and give a slight measurement like this, and then sprinkle it out and just use your fingers to cultivate it into the ground. Organic fertilizers will float if they're on the top of the soil, and they won't be tucked in and around the plant. So you just take your fingers and poke it down in there. This type of fertilizer here, being organic, is the fertilizing aspect of it, but one of the other things about organic fertilizers, and this one in particular, it has beneficial soil microbes in it. It has also a beneficial fungus called mycorrhizae fungi. Those are all very important. The microbes will help break material down in the soil, making it enable the plant to be able to pick it up, and the beneficial fungus will actually become an extension of the plant's root system. It's very important to fertilize. I can't tell people enough. Just to sort of wrap up on planting containers like this, you can be very creative. Don't let somebody tell you that you can't grow peas that get 6 feet tall in a small container like this. It may not be realistic to get them to be as big as somebody that grew them in the ground, but you can do that. You can have fun doing it.